Two more videos in our series, A Christian's Guide to Voting. Again, I hope these have been helpful to you. They're thoughts, and they're thoughts that we need to explore and pursue and dive deeper into. But sometimes we just need a starting place, and hopefully these have been that for you. We said at the very beginning that the goal when voting is to vote the issues that are important to God instead of the issues that are important to us. Now, I hope that those two things would sync up in your life, and I pray that they sync up in mine. But the goal is not to pursue or to vote for the things that I care about, but rather to step back and vote for the things that God cares about. We need to view the world biblically, not emotionally, not driven by how we feel, not culturally, because the culture is constantly changing, not politically, because politicians will tell us whatever they need to tell us to get us to do whatever they want us to do. We need to think biblically, asking the question, as we make these decisions, God, what would you have me to do? Now, here's where it gets hard. It gets hard here for me. Christians are really struggling with this, and I know this because there are arguments even amongst Christians about exactly what to do as we elect politicians and support the goals of so many politicians in our culture and in our governments. Here's what I would encourage you to do. As you make it a priority to support the issues that are important to God, then you also need to support a government that supports the issues that are important to God. Here's what I mean by that. I think we could all agree that there are no perfect politicians. There are no perfect government officials. There's no one who will get it right all the time. In fact, most get it wrong almost as much as they get it right. And there are so many issues, and so many of these issues are important to us, and so many are important issues, by the way. There are many more important issues than the couple we just talked about this week. But as Christians, we have to step back and say, there are so many important issues, but there are some big ones. The sanctity of life, the value of human life, that's a big one to God. It's in the Bible. Individual liberty, that's important to God. We find that throughout Scripture. The right, the ability to worship God, that's throughout Scripture. We see these things outlined. These are important to God. And so even though there are so many other issues and there are imperfect politicians who are seeking to lead us, what do we need to do? We need to support those in government, those in leadership who most represent the issues and the ideals that are important to God. Please hear me. I'm not saying that anyone gets this right all the time. I'm not saying that anyone necessarily agrees with you theologically, philosophically, personally. But we need to ask the question of all of the people who we have the opportunity to support, which one or ones most support the issues that are important to God. We are not talking about the lesser of two evils. We're not talking about some of these silly phrases people use to condemn other Christians as they vote. What we're talking about is asking the question, who most represents or historically has in their career the values, the issues that are important to God. Get behind them and encourage them. And they may get a lot of other things wrong. They may get these things wrong down the road. But your responsibility as a Christian is to support those that support the values, the issues that are important to God. Don't vote the issues that are important to you. Vote the issues that are important to God and support those who do the same.